This conference will now be recorded.
Is it visible?
Yep.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So today we are to in this course we are going to cover SAP ISU FICA, where we have to cover multiple things like just to go through the contents which we are going to cover in these sessions. First is like FICA basics. What are the master datas, business master datas we have in a FICA? What are the events like FQ events, which is got triggered whenever a new function, whenever a functionality is called. So what are the FQ events which is called in background of that? Like second, we are going to see like how the documents has been posted, what is the due date of those, how to determine those due dates, what is the life cycles of those documents, and like we have account balance display, so we will see like how the configurations of account balance display seems like. And in the yeah, in the third chapter we are going to see like what are the transactions in we have in a ISU, like what are the main and sub, how to configure those, how the combination of these two determines the type of posting, GL account determinations, document types. And in module 4, that is incoming payment, so in this we are going to see like how the payments has been posted, what is the difference between payment lots and payment runs, how to post a refund on account, what are posting logs, clearing logs, outgoing logs, how to add a bank account, like once the payment is got failed, it goes into a clarification portal, and how to clarify those payments. Okay, where we have those entries in the SAP, how to accept and how to release, how to cancel those. Okay, and yeah, in module 5, we are going to see how the payment run works on the system, how the auto pay runs in the system, how to make a payments through payment card. In module 6, we are going to see like how the return is posted, how a return fees is getting calculated, when return is got posted, uh, like what is the common difference between refunds and returns, what are the scenarios where refunds are getting posted, and how we got to know that these entries are now being written on the system. So this is all we are going to cover in module 6. In module 7, that is a clearing control, like whenever a payment has been posted on an account, and we have a multiple due items, like we have a invoice on an account, we have a security deposit on an account. So which which document will get clear first if we post a payments on an account? So this is all we learn under the clearing control module. In module 8, we have a dunning and collection. So when a customer is not paying his invoices, account is going into a dunning, like uh, how to, yeah, I am audible, right?
Yeah, Vinod,
Hello.
you are.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks. Yeah, so in module 8, we are going to cover like what is dunning and collections, dunning through collection strategies, like what are the different collection steps and collection strategies, how we done those account, what are the configurations, like where it is configured, and as a part of dunning we are triggering some letters. As well as a part of dunning we are going to disconnect some accounts if they are not paying their dues on time. So once the disconnection has been happened and once the dunning has been happened on an account, those accounts are submitted to collections. We are going to know like in a collection agency process, how the items has been submitted to a collection agencies, how those are submitted to those, how in what scenarios we are going to recall those items, how the file is getting created uh, for the unpaid receivables as a part of collection agencies. In module 9, we have interest calculations, like whenever a security deposit posted on an account, and if we are returning those security deposits, we give some interest to the customers, how those interest has been uh, evaluated on the system. Whenever we have an invoice on an account as a credit, sometimes we have an invoice on account as a credit, how we are determining the interest on those line items. So this is all we are going to cover in module 9. In module 10 we have an installment plan. So how to create an installment plan, so what are the background activities which is happening at our table level, and what are the configurations for the installment plans. So this is all we cover in module 10. In 11 module we have the account maintenance. So if we have unpaid receivables and we have open payments on an account, so how account maintenance is happens on an account, how to reverse a documents, how to reset clear a documents, document transfer from one account to another account. We have a mark as doubtful allowance and value adjustments as well. We have a write off in case of customer is not paying even after sending his invoice to a collection agencies. Our last step is to write off those documents on a customer account. In module 12 we have a security deposits, like how our cash and non-cash security deposit has been posted, what is the life cycle of a cash security deposit whenever it is posted and when it's got released and returned back to the customer. The proper life cycle of the security deposit we are going to discuss. And in 13 module we have some correspondence. So like whenever account is eligible for any letter to be triggered, how the system creates a correspondence, and how it is getting printed and it is sent to the customer. So these are the modules which these are the uh, contents which we are going to cover inside this FICA sessions. Okay. Yeah, so till here, does anyone have any doubts regarding the syllabus?
So, Vinod, Sridhar here.
Yeah.
So, when you say that when you're going to train, I'm trying to understand the methodology that typically, how do you train? That's what I need to understand. Maybe you're going to cover later. But
Okay.
when you, I mean, definitely, I'm
Hmm,
thinking you're going to log into the
hmm.
system and then show us the configuration part and then try to cover end to end, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So the final one you mentioned there is an FICA integration and then SAP modules. What are the things? What other modules in SAP that the FICA integration that you're going to cover?
Uh, See, this is a ISU specific training. So inside ISU, there is no such integrations with other modules. So that is totally a ISU FICA syllabus.
Okay, because the last one you mentioned in one of the slide, the last slide, you said further integration of FICA in SAP modules, right? So I'm talking about what
Yeah.
is covered in that.
No, actually, it is a utilities. So we are not going to cover module 14 since it is a FICA and it is a specific utilities specific. So there is no such integrations with other modules.
So there is no SD FICA integration, you mean to say.
Yes.
When you're not going to cover it, it's there or it's not there.
Uh, Integration with other modules.
I'm talking about specific to sales and distribution module of SAP, like how does that gets integrated with FICA?
Um, as of no, I have to check, but
Okay,
we are good with 13 modules. I have to check this 14 point.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
And you said you have utility experience, right? So is it
yeah.
which markets you're working in, is it a European
Uh,
market or Indian
it
market or
is
US market?
it is US market, North America client.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to cover the budget billing part of it?
I will cover.
Okay. Because I haven't seen that. I've
Yeah,
seen
it
the
is not in the
installment plan, like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it is not in the presentations, but I will add budget billing as well.
And when you say the bill print workbench, like, what is it you're covering there in that?
Print bill work branch. So basically, it includes whenever a PDF has been triggered, like in a particular collection step, a PDF has been triggered. So how it is being printed and how it is sent to a customer, like that's thing. How where the entry has been created. So these are the things.
So in
Because
terms of, yeah, good.
yeah, because PWB is uh, altogether a different module.
Yeah, I know, yeah, PW is a different model, but again, it's mentioned here. I am wondering,
Yeah.
like, what is being covered out there.
Hmm.
Okay, so
So
when you coming to the practical aspect of it, like, when you start training, so do you think
hmm.
you're going to get into the system from a project perspective, you're going to talk about, or like, you take a project and then say, this is the client and this, I mean, not the client, forget about the client for a minute, like, this is the scenario, this is a requirement that we have, I know, for this customer, and then this is how we are going to address out there. Okay, so that is a path you take at the time of training, or you're going to talk about it later, like, how do you go about, doing the training part?
Actually, if we talk about if we talk about the client request, like what kind real-time scenarios, basically, what are their requirements? So to cover those requirements, we need some ABAP code as well, right, to properly integrate it. Because FICA configuration is not only a solutions to any specific requirement, we have to integrate it with coding as well, ABAP code as well. Yeah, so I will present some real-time scenarios, but like the strategy I will follow, I will show you how these transactions will work, what are the basic configurations behind it, how to configure it. So these are the steps which will I go, which I'm going to show you, like how a proper transactions will work, what is the table level activities, and what is the configurations behind those activities.
Okay, so you start with the requirement, then move on to the configuration, and then do some transactional data is what you're going to do in the
Uh,
system, or is it already pre-configured that we are going to walk through and then explain the relevance of each of those items out there on the screen?
in the system, it is not configured from the scratch. So as a part of training, we are going to configure some of the transactions, and we will show like how it is work on the system.
Okay, and then basically for FICA, the input is going to come from the billing part of it, right? So, okay, my understanding is that you're going to start off from, the meter to cash process, and then come on to the invoicing piece, and then talk about how this configuration is going to work. How does it really? No, I'm trying to understand, like,
Yeah.
like, on a real time, like, the moment I'm done with this training, can I
Hmm.
go as an FICA consultant in the market? Okay, can I have my resume built in out there, as a FICA consultant with some of the projects, and then, talk about some real-time scenarios that we have seen. Okay, because that you said you are a real-time, you're working real-time in utility space, right? The FICA module.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what, the end goal is that, like, me being, going into the market as a FICA consultant. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. You will be as a FICA consultant after this course.
and yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think, sorry, I think I'm taking a lot of time. So go ahead with your presentation. Like, I
Okay.
can, answer.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we can start with the basic master data of the FICA. Okay. Uh, Let me open.
I think it looks like Rashik has some question.
Um, could you please come again?
Looks like Rajshekhar has some question. I think I see the hands up there.
Okay, yeah,
One of the
go ahead.
participant.
Yeah. Yes. Do you have any doubts, Raj Shekhar? If you are speaking, you are not audible, Raj Shekhar. I guess your mic settings are not proper.
Rashikar, could you please rejoin once? We can't hear you. Yeah, Vinod, you can go ahead. Meanwhile, I'll just check with him.
Okay.
Yeah, Vinod, you can hear me?
Yes, yes. Now I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead,
Yes.
Vinod. At last, I will have some questions, so I will ask.
Okay. Yeah. So if we talk about the basics of FICA, basically it is used for the processing of mass numbers of transaction on a single day. Like it is the main application of the FICA is utilities and the telecom sectors where it is widely used. So basically it is a sub-ledger accounting system where millions of documents has been posted on a single day, and those documents has been reconciled and sent to the general ledger that is in SAP FICO environment. So just to handle those millions of customer and the mass transactions of data and the mass document postings, mass letter generation, invoice generations, the FICA is introduced. So the basic master data in FICA, that is first one is business master data and second one is technical master data. In technical master data, in business master data we have three subdivisions. Like first we have a uh, business partner. Second we have a contract account. So whatever the transactions which we have, which we are going to use in the FICA, so in approx all of the transactions, these are the inputs. Like BP, contract account and contracts, these are the inputs. So we will understand how, like what is the definition of those, how to check those in the system, like the details, basic details of these business master data. As well as we on the other hand we have a technical master data. Technical master data, that is informations related to the devices, where the device has been, where the meter has been installed, where what is the premise, what is the connection objects, and what is the installations. So first we have a connection object. Second we have a premise where the meter has been installed. Third we have the installation. um, then we have a move in and move out process, how to move in and how to move out a customer. So basically these things are covered as a device management part. So we will discuss these things, but first we have to focus on the business master data. What is BPCA? Contract account. CA means contract account. BP is business partner. So let's take an example to start these business master data. First, we will discuss business master data. So, what is a business partner? So, a business partner name itself signifies that what is a business partner? A person, a person who is a partner or a sorry, yeah. So, business partner, it can be a person or an organization. who is taking a service from the utilities company. Okay, for example, me taking a Vinod is taking a service from a utilities company. Yeah. So if I am taking a service directly from the utilities company, then I am a business partner. A business partner can be any organizations. For example, it can be any factory which is taking a services from a utility factory. It can be an organization, it can be a person. Okay, so another term we have a contract account. So it is an important term in a FICA. Contract account is the master data which we are going to use in every segment of FICA. So contract account, for example, I am taking a service from a utilities company. For example, in India, uh, I live in Delhi, okay, and I have taken a service from a utilities company. Let's take an example in whole India. In whole India, we have only one service provider, one utilities company, that is, for example, a Geo Power. Okay, for example, Geo Power is the only utility company which we have in India. Uh, so I'm living in Delhi. I taken a service from a Geo Power, and for example, one of my brother, who is living in Mumbai, is also taking a service from a utility company called Geo Power. So in that scenario, we will have to create a two contract account. First contract account is on my name, and second contract account is on my brother's name. Okay, so and we have a one BP, one BP, that is me. We have a CA contract account, that is, first contract account is me and second contract account is two. Okay, so my brother took a service from a Geo Power. Okay, so what he did, he just created a separate contract account inside one BP, that is my. So we have a relations here. So how BP is related to this CA? So we can say this is a brother. So we have a configurations, we have a fields to check the relations as well in the T codes. Okay, so why we require two contract account here? I am a business partner. I am taking a service from a Geo Power in Delhi. My brother is opted for a same utilities services, that is Geo Power, and he is residing at Mumbai. So we have created a two contract account under a single business partner. Why we required? So basically, just to do a separate invoicing process, and basically creation of two contract account leads to the two individual accounts where a separate invoice has been posted, where a separate billing, where a separate payment cycle has been posted or a run on an account. Okay, so a business partner can have a multiple contract accounts. There is no limit. Okay, it goes to up to n numbers of a contract account under a single business partner. Uh but yeah, so but a single contract account cannot have two business partners. Okay, so this is the link between those two master datas. A business partner can have a multiple contract accounts. For example, I am a business partner. I have a contract account. For example, I am living in Delhi. My brother once live in Mumbai, and third one is living at Pune, and fourth one is living at J&K. So instead of creation of another business partners, what they have decided to take a services under a single business partner just by creating a multiple contract accounts. Okay, and multiple contract accounts leads to a separate invoicing cycle, as I told earlier, leads to a different payment cycles. Whatever the activities has been happened on an any contract account, it remains to that contract account only. It will not impacts, it will not create any other impact on the another contract account under a single BP. So this is the relationship between a business partner and a contract account. Okay, and we have another term that is a contract. So, for example, GeoPower is the utilities company which deals with the electricity and gas services, for example. Okay, so whatever the contracts I have signed with GeoPower, like for example, contract account one is opting electricity from GeoPower. Contract account 2 is opting only gas from GeoPower. So these are the contracts. So contract account 3 is taking electricity as well as taking gas from the GeoPower. So I will say this contract account 1 is taking only electricity. Electricity means having only one contract that is of electricity. Okay. So contract account 2 is having only one contract that is of gas. So these are the contracts which we have uh, of a particular contract account. So there is a linkage like this is the contract. Uh, See, a single contract cannot have a multiple contract accounts. It is directly related to a single contract account. These contract accounts have their individual contracts. Okay, those are not links with others. See, one contract is relates to only one contract account, but a single contract account can have a multiple contracts. Okay, this single contract account can have a multiple contracts. Like for example, this contract account one can have a electricity and gas as a contract. Okay, but electricity and gas have only one contract account, and this CA can have only one business partner, but a business partner can have a multiple contract accounts. Okay, so this is the master data thing, business master data thing of FICA. So does anyone have any doubts in the relationship of a business partner, contract account, and contract? How those are linked with each other?
Good, Vinod. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. So this is how it is linked. Uh, we have the multiple T codes. We have a multiple tables for business partner to track activities against contract accounts. We have the tables for a contract as well. Okay, so for a business partner, I have represented it on a short form that is BP. So BP is the T code. T code for business partner is BP. We have a multiple T codes for a single business partner, that is uh, we have one T code business partner. If you try BP, let me show you. Mm, I have given BP as a T code. See, it is the maintain business partner. Here you can create, change, or display any business partner using this BP. As an alternative to this business partner T code BP, we have three T codes as well. That is FPP1, 2, and 3. So FPP1 is for creation of business partner, which we can do it from BPT code as well. FPP2 is for change. FPP3 is for display of any business partner. Okay, so let me show you what are the some fields inside a business partner and what those represents.
Yeah, apart from
Yeah.
this, why can't we discuss with the technical side of the coin?
Uh,
Exactly how the data is coming from, basically from where the data is coming into FICA.
okay, so basically for this SAP, it is a database. Okay, so we have a front end of it as well. Okay, so we have their front end website where the customer logs in. For every utilities company, they have created their uh, front end website either in .NET or any other front end language, where the whenever a user, if it is a first time user, it always signs up. Okay, it always signs up. At the time of sign up, they have to fill some fields like what is the name, phone number, address, payment details, if they want to add some business, if they want to add some bank details, and any credit card, like what is the nationality. So that is the entry, that is the informations which the customer fills up uh, at the front end. So we have another module, that is PIPO, which is responsible for reconcile those informations and process those data into a SAP uh, backend tables. So this is how the data flows looks like. So there is no any agents or any user which will open up the SAP and creates a business partner individually for an for each individual. So in a productions, we never use those BPT codes, FPP1, FPP2, FPP3. We just have to in productions, those data will get flow from the front end. We just keep those knowledge, like how to create, if we want to create any test data, uh, if we want to meet any preconditions. So that's why we just need those information, like how to create those business partner.
Okay,
Otherwise in productions we
yeah,
don't
got
need to create it. Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So, what is the relationship between SD and our BRIM module? So, how at what level these submodules are integrating with FICA? Is there
uh,
necessary to integrate with that, or there is no point of like, as you're mentioning that directly they can through
uh,
browser front end application they are keying the data, so that is the only way to get the data.
uh, to get the data, there is no integration with SD module,
Mhm.
but FICA altogether deals with the payments of any customers or deals with the uh, returns, refund. So nowadays, FICA is widely used because of the payment speciality, payment functionality. Large number of payments customer, large number of customers who deals with the payments. See, uh, we can integrate FICA nowadays with any modules because of the payment functionality. So this is how it is integrated, but not much very integrated with SG.
Okay, how about BRM?
Okay, so FICA, so uh, you are saying how FICA is related to BRIM.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you know, like in BRIM module, we have a four sub modules, that is SOM, CC, CI, and FICA. Okay, so basically BRIM is a subscription module, like where a customer is subscribing anything nowadays, like in Netflix, Hotstar, or any of the OTT platform, in any of the platforms. If it is subscribes, whatever the consumptions, that subscription is totally handled in SOM module, but in the CC and CI, like for example, take an example of a Wi-Fi services, like what is the consumption we have in a Wi-Fi. Nowadays, there is a particular fixed plans. Okay, but in if you talk about 5 or 10 years ago, if you call someone and your charge is totally based on the minutes, how many minutes you have did a conversation on a call, that is directly proportional to your charge. Minutes is directly proportional to a charge. Okay, so whatever the charging we have from there, that is a charge, that is a consumption, and that consumption was billed to a customer account, and that if the customer pays those consumption, pays those billing consumption, pays those invoices, then FICA is in a role here again. Okay, if it is pays, then FICA is in the integration where the payment has been successful or failed, where the payment has been in a role. That means you can say a FICA is in a role. So in Brim, that is usage to cash. Basically, whatever the amount of thing you are using, like internet or any other meter reads something. So whatever based on the consumption, a bill has been charged, and you have a invoice has been generated, and you have to pay the invoice. So a FICA is in a rule. So this is how it is linked.
Okay, so the billing, the device management completely you will explain, or just only the theory part?
No, no. Device management, I will not explain.
Or even there is no theory part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So nowadays, what is happening in the market, we have a smart meters, okay, where basically you can say prepaid meters where you have to recharge first, and then
Mhm.
based on that recharge, you will get some units. You have to consume it. Yeah. And in some of the markets, we have old fashions meters, like whatever the consumption we have to build on based of that consumption. Then invoice has been generated, then you have to pay. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the use of FICA alone? If I learn, like, what is the use of
Okay.
spending time
So
on this?
yeah, use of FICA, basically FICA is the module we are where you are going to learn how the payments has worked, like how the auto pay. If you have see some of the apps nowadays giving a functionality of auto pay, right? Like whenever an invoice has been posted on your account, that payments from your account has been debited, and your invoice has been paid. Okay, so I will tell you example of utilities how the FICA is integrated. See, once the invoice has been generated, let's take an example. A year, your utility invoice has been generated. Okay, now you have to pay it. For example, you are not paying it on a time. Okay, most of the customers are not paying on a time because it might be any reason the customer is not paying. So first step is the LPC has been posted. If it is not further paying that invoice, late payment charge has been posted, then your account go on a dunning cycle where the separate where a individual steps has been taken on your account. Like you will get a call from the agent, you will get some letters that please pay this much of invoice which has been generated. Okay, if you are still not paying, they will disconnect your services, whatever the services you are taking from that utility company. They will disconnect it. If you are not, if you are not paying that invoice after even after disconnect, then they will send your account to a collection agency, which is a third external collection agencies, where a person will reach out at your home, and he will say like please pay this much of amount. Okay, if you are still not paying, then a further strict action has been taken on your account. Like in some of the scenarios, in some of the utilities company, there is a court case as well. Okay, they are going to file a case on their local judiciary. Okay, and if you're still not paying, they eventually have to write off the invoice which has been posted. So this is what FICA is,
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Vinod. Yeah,
which
please go.
yeah, which starts just after the invoice posting on your account. Yeah. In billing portion, see, in ISU we have a three major modules, that is billing, device management, billing, and FICA. Once the meter is installed, upon installing of that meter, an invoice has been generated. Okay, once the invoice has been generated, till invoicing process, that is covered under ISU billing portion. Okay, once the invoice has been posted, then a FICA will come in a role. So nowadays companies are implementing FICA because of the payments functionality, because of auto pay, and because of subscription based module as well. Okay, and because of the special feature of dunning. Okay, we have to send different reminders on a customer account if it is not paying. Yeah. Any other doubts?
Yeah, I'm good, Vinod. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so let me show you. We are at business partner, and I am going to show you like how a business partner looks like, what is the structures which we have. Okay, so these details which we got it from the front end, okay, which is uh, converted into SAP database table. This is not a manual activity. We have a separate jobs configured in a system. We are not the ones who is going to configure the jobs. We have a different other modules which is responsible for populating these data into SAP tables. Okay, so for example, in the address tab, we have the address of a customer where the customer lives, total address. We have the phone numbers, email, fax, and address validity, like this address is valid. So whenever in the system, if you are seeing this date 12/31/999, that is means infinity, that is mean it is a active. Okay, so I can see this address is a active. Okay, from this date to this date, there is no particular date defined, that means it is an active address. Okay, so if you can see here, we have the name, address, communications like mobile number, telephone, email, fax, how we can reach out to that customer. This is particularly a business partner level data. Okay, and this is the address overview basically. If you double click on this address overview, you will get the same details whatever we have in the first tab. This is the identifications. Identifications means for example, in India we have a Aadhaar card. So in US or in any other market, they have their social security number, whatever. Okay, so in if it is a Indian client, then you will get to, you know, they have added their PAN card or if they have added their Aadhaar card details. So these details will get shown up here in the external business in this ID type. So in currently we have ID types like this is a project specific totally. If it is an Indian client, then you will get to see a Aadhaar card or something like that. So whatever the identification the customer has given at the time of enrollment, so those details will get shown up here. Okay. Yeah, so this is a control tab where you can control the like what is the business partner type and what is the print format whenever an invoice or whenever a PDF has been able, whenever PDM has been generated on your account. There is nothing much to discuss on this tab. Important tab is payment transaction, where we have bank details as well as a payment card details. So at the time of enrollment, customer has given a bank details. Okay, so these are the verified bank details which we have in our SAP system. So this is the bank details of the customer, and this is the, if the customer has given the credit card details as well, then those credit card details will be shown up here as well. So I assume that the customer has not given any credit card details at the time of enrollment, that's why we don't have any entry here. He has given a bank details. Okay, so these bank details can be used for the auto pay for the payment runs where the automatic payment has been deducted from the account. So these bank details are used for that activity. We don't have much to discuss in other tabs. These generally are not in use. We have these buttons for creation of any business partner. If you want to create, you can give any details and you are good to create any business partner in the system. Okay. We have a multiple tables. If we talk about the tables of a business partner, then you can see, uh, let me write it down in the Excel. For business partner tables, we have a BUT 000. We have a multiple. In BUT 000, we have the basic details of a business partner like address, what is the name, what is the communications. Okay. We have BUT 0 ID, where the identification details, where the whatever the identification number a customer has given at the time of enrollment, those details are available in BUT 0 ID table. Okay. BUT 0 CC. So BUT 0 CC is the table where the credit card details of a business partner has been stored. Okay, and BUT 0 BK. So BUT 0 BK is the table responsible for the responsible for storing the bank details of a customer of a business partner, where the bank details of a business partner has been stored. A table is directly linked with one table, that is BNKA Banka. This Banka is not a business partner related table. This is a bank details related tables where you can see the bank details, like whatever the customer has added. If, for example, if you have the customer have added HDFC Bank, so the details of HDFC banks will be stored in BNKA. That is not a business partner table. Just for your information, I have told this. BNKA is the table, and we have other tables like BUT 020, where the address ID, where the proper whole address has been stored. Uh, and one table that is directly linked with this BUT 020, that is ADRC. ADRC is the table which also stores the address, uh, basically a full address in detail address of a business partner. In BUT 000, we have the address, but not in a not in a full, um, don't have all fields in BUT 0, but we always prefer ADRC for the logics which we given in a system. Okay, so for example, if a client requirement is that you have to create a report where the business, where you have to show a business partner details, like what is the credit card number, what is the bank account, in a single report, what is the social security number, what is the identification, what is the proper address. So we always use these tables for these kinds of requirement. Okay, we always pass business partner in this table and we will get the relevant details from these tables. Okay, we have the multiple tables, but those not are in much use. F1, F4. See, we have this much amount of tables for the business partner only. So we don't require these tables. The tables which I have mentioned, those are in a use generally. Okay. BUT 020 BP address. BUT 0 BK for bank details. BUT 0 CC for payments. BUT 0 ID for ID number. Let me check. Yeah. So, does anyone have any doubts in business partner? Like, what is the business partner? Uh, what is the corresponding tables, and what is the T code? So, does anyone have any doubts in business partner?
I'm good, Vinod.
Okay. Yeah. So similarly, we have the tables for contract account. We have the T codes for contract account creation, change, and display. And basically, most of the actions are taken at the contract account level. BP is just for the header level informations, like if we want to gather some informations related to any business partner. But whatever the actions, invoice has been posted, dunning has been applied on account, and whatever the majority of actions that always taken up on the contract account levels. Okay, so we never use business partner for such kind of actions. We always use contract account because it is a proper contract of a customer where it is taking a service. If we are taking any action on a business partner level, then uh, it will impact all of the contract account inside that business partner. Okay, so that's why we always specify a contract account in any of the activities which we are going to cover. Okay, so for a contract account, um, yeah, contract account, we have some tables, we have some T codes. T codes is CAA 1, 2, and 3. CAA 1, 2, and 3, these are the T codes through which we can create. CA1 is for create, CA2 is for change in contract account, CA3 is for display in contract account. So these are the T codes. These are the only T codes which we use for a contract account. Okay, and we have a tables for a contract account. We have a table that is FKK VKP and FKK VK. So these are the two tables which generally stores the details of a contract account. FKK VKP is the important which we use in every logics in any requirement. FKK VK is just a header level where we don't have much informations. Okay, in FKK VK we just have a contract account name and contract account type. Because of that type field, we use FKK VK. Otherwise, FKK VKP is covering all of the parameters which we have. Uh, I will cover this contract account in next session. So today we will wrap up our call. So does anyone have any doubts in this session?
Yeah, I'm good, Vinod. Thank you. Thanks for the insight.
So,
Yeah.
so Vinod, I just want to understand, like,
Yeah.
couple of things, primarily, as I was talking to you earlier.
Mm,
So, one is, uh, yeah, you said you're going to talk about the real-time scenarios out there, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you're going to show that in the system end to end.
Mm,
Okay, that
yeah.
is one piece. Okay, the second one is, for me, my understanding is like, so you have device management followed by billing
Mm,
module and followed by the FICA part, basically. And of
yeah.
course, the FICA thing, ultimately,
Yeah.
it's going to get merged with the FICO part of it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you start training on this, when you talk about, I understand, you're talking about the table level and talking about transaction level, you're explaining this piece. Okay, fine, good.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you really start working on an account for a customer, like, where do you start off in the system? And then how does the flow happen out there? So that's something that I would like to see basically in the system. because I think I think I got a chance to get into the system and then practice myself, right? So
Yeah.
the goal for me, especially, for me is, once I'm done with this training course, I should be able to really go out in the market, have my resume built in out there as a FICA
Mm.
consultant, and what all that are required is what I'm looking at right now. So more of a real-time scenarios explanation part, because whatever, the basics that we are looking at right now is one piece of it. Okay,
Okay.
second piece is more of, the real-time examples, real-time project scenarios that, tomorrow when we face an interview on this, we should be able to
Mm.
really, answer those questions from, whatever the interview we're facing with, basically. So I'm primarily looking at from that point of view, like, so I don't know how far you're going to help, or, this training program is going to cover on that aspect.
Um, okay, so real-time scenarios, you mean real-time client requests, like what kind of request we have got from the clients, like if you want to create any program or something like that. Are you trying to say
Right.
like that?
No, no, not a program, basically. So say for
Mm.
example, the
Mm.
dunning, or you're talking about the clearing category, okay, or
Yeah.
anything like, so, in a real time, how it happens out there, for a line item that you post on the invoice, basically. So, okay, when you get the incoming payment, how do you process the payment, and then how that configuration piece on that. Okay, this could be a simple example what I can give it to you, okay, which
Okay.
would happen in a utility company, like saying that, okay, fine, I have a new charge is being posted, we are billing the customer
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
for the delivery charge, for example. Okay,
Okay.
and then,
So yeah. So you are basically talking about the configuration part, right?
purely that's what it is. As a functional consultant for FICA, this
Yeah.
is what you're going to do, right? Okay, as a functional
Yes.
consultant, when you go in the market, okay, and we're not talking about the customization part, that is nowhere involved. I'm not really looking at it right now. Okay, even though you're talking about the FQ events, that really
Yeah.
gets in there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, my focus is that, like, I'm primarily looking at that part of it. So once I'm done with the training, okay, real-time scenarios, and, I can put it
Mm.
on my resume and then go ahead and then say, like, then, face an interview is what I'm looking at.
Hmm. Okay. So as a part of this training, we are going to cover the configurations part as well. Like
Hmm.
if I talks about the payment runs, so how to configure those payment run in a system. Like what are the payment methods? We are going to cover those in the system. Yes, if we are talking about, see, since Dunning nowadays it is handling through collection strategy that is handled in BRF plus. So BRF is altogether a different module where
Right,
it is not related to a FICA. We have the multiple applications of BRF. So BRF plus
right.
consultants are different. Yeah. So that is I'm not gonna cover. But major configurations I will cover. But in if you talk about dunning, then we have a different dunning activities like on this particular collection step. What are the activities? So for those kind of activities, we have a ABAP program to be developed. Like for example, in collection strategy, in collection step one, a letter has been triggered to your account. Okay, so to trigger those letter, we have a proper ABAP code. Like we have a proper methods to be developed in the system. So these things are not going to be covered because those really needs a ABAP consultant to be here, like which create a programs. Although it will takes a time, like to create a program, but I will tell you, I will let you know like where you have to configure the step, where you have to configure the program so that in a particular step it being called. Okay, so these are the things.
Okay. So you think, like, apart from the basics that we are talking here, the technical
Yeah.
master data, the business master data, right?
Ye-
You think you're going to start off your, process in the system, starting from creation of a BP, the contract account, the contract, the move-in, okay, and then you
Um,
bill a
yes.
customer, and then, okay, and billing document is created, followed by the, the invoice part. wherein the FICA comes in
Yeah,
out there,
yeah.
like,
If
so. Yeah,
yeah, just to let you know, I have to check the billing configuration in the system because I am also not familiar of the billing configurations. So
yeah,
if
that's a
billing
critical piece
configuration,
basically. Yeah. So the thing is, like,
yeah,
the flow happens. Prior module we are talking about is billing here. Prior to that is device. Ultimately, we are talking about a move in the customer service
hmm,
part. Module part of it, like, where the flow happens
yeah,
out there. So for the practice
yeah,
part, okay, when you say I have the FICA, I'm a FICA
hmm,
consultant, like, right? So the
hmm,
start the starting point would be customer moving in, and then we do the I mean, of course, prior to that we have the device installed and all that stuff, right? So
yeah,
I'm more looking at the end-to-end part, so that we would be going out in the market, be the functional FICA functional
yeah,
consultant. I do understand there are some customization required, like the bill print, the invoice part. Some of them, you
yeah,
need to have the technical resource available, to do that. But while practicing the system here, whatever that is being provided, do you think the system has got the capability to really look at end to end and then see? Can you just quickly get onto the another table I can talk about? Go
yeah.
to ERD, yeah, ERCH.
ERDK billing table. Uh,
Yeah. Look at the entries on
no,
there. Yeah.
mm,
So
I guess billing
yeah,
configurations are not there. Yeah.
yeah, ERCH, CH. Yeah, we don't have the billing documents or the invoicing documents created in this system. So for the
Yeah.
practice part, I think we'll be able to practice on this system. That's where the challenge is.
Okay.
And this in FI, like we have a major component. Okay,
Hmm.
in SAP, when you talk about FICA, I think you can't miss on talking about the SD part of it. There is something called SD FICA integration, where
Okay.
SD sales document, that is created out there. When the invoicing that is done in sales module would get latched on at the time of invoicing. So there is a very uh, good integration that you see out there in the in the market for utility companies, where okay, at the time of invoicing a utility customer, you can as well get something from the sales and distribution module at the time of
Okay.
invoicing. So that gets integrated out there, the invoicing level.
Okay. Okay.
Typically, like you are talking about collecting, some rentals, for water heater or whatever it is, right? So
Hmm.
instead of configuring everything in the billing part, okay, we can as well have a contract created in SD, and then that flows into the FICA at the time of invoicing.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so primarily I'm looking at the FICA piece. I don't know if
Hmm.
you
Yeah.
can help. Otherwise, I'm good. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Vinod. Thanks
Okay.
for your time.
Yeah. Yeah. No problem. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks.
Yeah.